Well, hello, Jayme.
Jayme.
Hey, Jayme. Maven here. Jayme Joshua.
And if somebody's name is Jayme Joshua,
Jayme has a message for you.
What's up, Jayme?
Jayme, how are you, buddy?
Jayme Joshua. Jayme Housing, hello.
I love these questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah. Jayme Joshua, do you have a favorite hotel to stay in Vegas?
Yeah, there's a Motel 6 about 3 miles off the strip. No, I'm kidding. Probably, and it's just because I stayed there once with a buddy of mine. A buddy of mine that's used to play in the NFL. He got like one of those 2-level suites in the MGM one time, and it was something I'm like, even if I did have the money, I'm not dropping 10 grand a night for a room. And it had like a pool. It was just insane. And yeah, that was a fun trip. I got a good Vegas story. So one of my best friends, his name's Todd Newton, and you can look him up. Oh gosh, what was that? He was a game show host, and I hosted with him when I was on HSN, the Home Shopping Network. Well, remember the Family Game Night on the game show channel? He was the host of that, and back in the day, he hosted Wild On with Brooke Burke. Well, he hosts the live edition of The Price is Right. So I went to stay with him in Vegas, and he was going to do a couple Prices Right. And then me and him were just going to hang out and go out. So this was like in 2009. We go. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'll meet you back at I think it was Bally's, and then we can go from there. So I walk into the Bally's, probably halfway through The Price is Right. I'm not there for that. I don't care to watch the live edition of The Price is Right. I know it's rigged. So as I walk in, I'm in cargo camo shorts and a tank top, and I sit in the back away from everybody. Well, of course, Todd says, "Hey, guys, do we have a treat for you? Former WWE superstar Maven is with us," and all the people there that are there with their families who have no earthly idea who I am turn around, and Todd says, "And Maven's going to be coming up on stage taking pictures with everyone afterward." And I'm just thinking, you son of a bitch. And so, of course, afterwards, then I've got all these people who they're not wrestling fans. They have no clue, but they're in Vegas. And if you tell somebody, hey, this person's important, this person's famous, they're going to want a picture. So then so I'm spending time explaining who I am and answering, yes, I used to wrestle in the WWE. Yes, I know The Rock. Yes. Because that's what everybody wants to know. But
you know that guy who eliminated The Undertaker from the 2002 Royal Rumble?
No clue. They have no clue. They have no clue of what a Royal Rumble is. Yeah. If I say I did something in the Royal Rumble, they're going to think it had something to do with Harry and Princess Kate. They would have no clue.
Man.
Let's see. We do have somebody did a super chat. Jayme Joshua, thanks for the $5. Rob, have you heard any rumors in Vegas that Luxor will be demolished? The Luxor. Did you hear any rumors?
I sure haven't.
They're taking our history.
I hope that's not true. I mean,
I hope not either. I like Luxor.
What hotel would be more iconic than the fucking pyramid when you come in town from California? It's like you see that light like way before you even see the strip. If you're in nighttime or early morning, when the sun's not out.
Yeah.
That light goes up from top of the pyramid and shines all the way up to heaven.
Yeah, we can see it from our house.
That's crazy.
That's the only clue we're giving y'all.
But I haven't heard that. You haven't either?
I haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it. Yeah, I didn't. I stayed at the Luxor, I think, once maybe. I gambled there for sure.
So thanks to Manscaped.
Next is from Jayme Joshua from Vegas. Did you guys see the body cam video that just released this past week of Ice-T going off on a cop for stopping him about his plate speed expired? They both ended up debating which one is being the asshole. So which one do you guys think is? Thanks.
Go sit down. Well, I saw this video. Have you?
Do you have this? You did? No, I have not.
Yeah.
Who, in your opinion, who's being the asshole?
Well, it's like an 8 or 10 minute video, but I think Ice-T thinks that the cop's being an asshole because he caught him in his car parked, and I think his license plate had expired and
Right. So what's he complaining
license
about?
had expired. Okay. And then Ice-T was telling him the DMV is right over there, and he had like a big envelope, and it had like his license plate and stuff like that. And then he goes, "See, I'm taking this to DMV. Let me walk over there." He goes, "No, I can't." And then he called the supervisor over, but this wouldn't have happened. And here's another thing: nobody recognized Ice-T, and
Oh, really?
when everywhere you go, most people recognize you. It's kind of weird when you know what
People
I'm
don't.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like, it was weird. Remember when they arrested Tyreek Hill,
Right.
like right in front of the stadium, and none of the cops knew who he was?
No, they
I was
did know
like,
who he was, I thought.
at the end, the guys that
Right.
came at the end,
Okay.
he goes, "You don't know who that is?" And he goes, "No." But I think Ice-T was also like, nobody was, marking out for him. You know what I'm saying? But if he would have had his license plate on point, this wouldn't have happened.
See what the hell's on someone's mind. Jayme Joshua, have you seen the movie Gridlocked with Tupac and Jim Belushi? Good ass movie.
I've seen it, don't remember it.
Okay. I have to look for that tonight, perhaps.
Good one from Jayme Joshua. Question: what was it like being interviewed by Vlad? Did he make you feel like he was trying to reveal things that you might not wanna about people?
Nah, not at all. He actually prefaced the interview, asking me if was there any topics that were no-go subjects, or is there, and he told me, he was like, if during the interview, if we touch a subject that you're not comfortable with, just say pass and we'll go on. He could not, I could not have felt more comfortable sitting doing an interview with someone. And again, I mean, my God, I think Zach and I both, hope one day we are at the level of where Vlad TV is.
Yes.
So I'm always trying to just pick people's brains too. It was a great experience. It was fun. I can't say I watched any of Vlad's stuff prior to going on, but I do now. And I'm definitely a fan of his work and how he does his and puts his content out.
Yeah. He's got a great set in the background of that video. I thought looked.
Yeah, that's his studio in New York too. I went. Oh my gosh! So driving in, so you know how big my truck is.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find anywhere. I went to 3 garages, and all of them were like, "Nah, man, your truck's too big. We're not parking it here." So finally, I drove it to a hotel, and I pulled it into the hotel where you can pull in, and then they'll let people out, and then you pull through. And luckily, the valet guy was a wrestling fan, and I offered him. I was like, "Yo, dude, I have $200. Let me keep this thing here." And he's like, "Done." So he made $200, but my truck was safe, So it was well worth it.
Yeah.
But where Vlad's office is located, it's in the city. I mean, he pays I'd say probably $28,000 a month for that studio, and that's not even his own main studio. He has another studio in LA, he was telling me. Yeah. So how much money is he making?
Yeah, really. Just to cover the overhead of that thing.
So that's why I say I hope me and Zach get there one day.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right. Jayme Joshua says, who from this episode of Primetime that we're watching tonight would you want to make all elite? So if you had a time machine and you could go back and grab anybody we've seen on the show so far tonight, is there anybody you'd say, oh man, I wish time travel was real because I'd love to have that guy?
Well, it would be Bret Hart, because Bret would give you great matches, and that's what we're kind of known for, great matches in the ring. I think Bret Hart would be the person that we would want to have.
I think that's a great call. No doubt.
Speaking of Edge, Jayme Joshua asked, and I don't know if you knew about this, but Edge, he's in AEW now. He was Adam Copeland using his real name, but now he is just Cope.
I like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I haven't been asked that, but I like it. It's, yeah. Listen, my middle name is Clate, Klate, and I could probably get that over as a wrestling name. Clate. You know, so I like it. Be better than Maven. I don't know. Hey, every time I hear my name said in wrestling, I hear JR saying it. Maven! Maven! You know, so
Maybe
yeah,
with
no,
that
I like
drop
it.
kick.
Yeah, I like Cope. That's just it's pretty. It can be catchy, Cope. You know, and it's a quick, just a good name. You know, Cope. What's up, Cope? Yeah,
It's taking
I'm a
me a
fan.
little bit. It'll take me a little bit to get used to it. 'Cause it just like like to me, it sounds like cope, like coping. Like
Oh, that
like,
is a word.
You need a cope.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that is a word. Cope. Yeah, to cope with something.
So
shoot, that's an angle built in with it. You can go back to that dark edge. You know, the brood edge.
Oh yes,
Cope.
yes.
Yeah. I like it.
Jayme Joshua, as creator of the Main Event Mafia, what were your thoughts when TNA did the new Main Event Mafia in 2013 with Sting, Angle, Joe, and Magnus?
I don't even know if I've watched it.
Okay, we had a super chat here. This is an interesting one because right now, well, we might be finishing up now. They'll probably done at this point, but I was just on with Kevin Nash and Sean Oliver for the Click This podcast, so they were recording live. But Jayme Joshua, thanks for the $5. He's asked, Dom and Rob, any chance we could someday get the first ever podcast simulcast with one of a kind and Click This? That'd be great. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm down. I'm down. I still got to get Kevin to return that favor. I was on his show, and he said he would do mine sometime, but never seems too convenient when it's 5 minutes before the show's about to start, and I'm thinking about things like that.
And you're like, oh, we could get Kevin. Yeah, because Kev goes. Not only did he just have surgery on his bicep, so he's been laid up. He's been kind of a hermit for the most part, but he also goes to his condo. He drives to do the podcast once a week, so he goes out of his way and sets it up there. So, but yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm sure we could set it up at some point. Everything and it'd be fucking great. Yeah.
Michigan boys.
Couple of Michigan boys, right?
Yep.
Man. Yep. Can't beat that.
Next one, Jamie says, hi Dutch, I'm wondering if you ever saw or worked with the Colorado Kid, Mike Rapada. I saw him when I found Music City Wrestling in 1998 when I was messing with my antenna. His promos always made me laugh because he would always mess something up and the tone of his voice was anything but threatening. Thanks. Mike Rapada. Or Rapada, however you pronounce it.
I know him. I think he's like the Colorado Kid or something.
Yep.
He was something like that. And he was a student or a friend of a independent promoter in Nashville and in Tennessee and Alabama and Kentucky is Bert Prentice. He would run independent show and Rapada was his guy. So, I mean, yes, I know him very well. Well, I don't know him that well, but I know him enough to, and how he couldn't do interviews, but Bert liked him, made him like the top guy. And I don't think he could sell water if you were on fire. That's what I think. He just interviews were no good. And Bert's TV, and he did a TV show. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that good. And it was like low rent. Of course, most independent shows are low rent, but and Bert sometimes he would do the commentary, but Rapada was his top guy, and I've always had my doubts about those two.
Bert Prentice as well.
Well, no, I knew about Bert Prentice, but I had my doubts about Rapada.
Jamie also sent in a link to an interview, so 1 second, I'll tee it up and we'll watch it together. Okay, I've got it, and it's got that horrible VHS buzz at the back, so bear with us, everybody, especially audio listeners.
I tell you what, Louisville, Kentucky, if you weren't there last week, you're going to need to be there this week. Flash Flanagan, he pulled a chain out of his trunks, you see, and he smacked me upside the head, and he almost got the job done. But the referee, he was smart enough. Flash Flanagan jumping around there, and the chain slid out, and the referee seen, pulled the chain out of his trunks, and gave me the reversal. That's right, not carrying the belt now. So I tell you what, Flash Flanagan, if you want to cheat, pal, learn how to cheat. You can't even cheat well. So I'm going to make the rules nice and simple for you this Tuesday night. See, you ain't got to cheat. it's a no disqualification match. That means you bring a chain, I bring a chain. You want to bring a board, I'm going to bring a board. I might even bring my whole tool belt. But I tell you what, Tuesday night I'm going to get the job done. And you're the man who needs to watch his butt. Because I tell you, I'm going in the North American Heavyweight Champion, and I'm going to go out the North American Heavyweight Champion. See, I'm the champion, and a lot of people out there don't think that I deserve to be. Well, that's okay.
He's out of breath already.
It don't matter what you think. It's what I am. And if you don't respect me, then you'll respect this belt. And when I step in the ring with you, Flash, I tell you what, it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 this Tuesday night.
Wow.
Okay, you know what he's doing? He stretched the interview. And the reason he stretched it because he said, okay, we got 2 minutes, or let's say a minute and a half. And he got to a minute and they went, okay, you know, you got 30 seconds more, you know, you got 15, you know, and he was trying to stretch it so they didn't have to do a lot of cutting in the editing room. Because I've seen a lot of interviews that, like a 3-minute interview, oh my God, it was forever because they were doing like this. That means stretch it out. And the interview toward the end didn't end with a boom. It ended with, oh God, I'm glad this is over. So, but I tell you one thing, pal, by God, you bring a chain, I'll bring a chain, by God, may the best chain man win. And it's what kind of match? Oh, no DQ match in Louisville, Kentucky on Tuesday night. Yeah. Anyway, that's Mike Rapata.
Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing, buddy.
Load up.
I'll bring a board. What, an ironing board?
Yeah.
What are you going to bring, buddy?
Yeah, I bring a board. I'll bring a board. And yeah.
You bring a surfboard.
Card.
I'll bring a skateboard.
You bring a credit card. I'll bring a credit card. But anyway, he was Bert's boy.
Yeah, decent mullet. Okay.
Maven was pronounced Melvin, Marvin, Megan one time. Yeah, Megan. And Mavis. Hey, Jayme, Maven here. Jayme Joshua. You asked a great question. You asked about the YouTube channel, and thank you so much for your support, not only there, but on this platform as well. You asked what has been more difficult and also easier than I thought. I'll start with the positive one. Easy wise, I wouldn't say it was easy, but it's just in the recesses of my brain, something I haven't accessed in a while. I said it in an interview. My girl and I, we don't sit and talk wrestling. She finds it absolutely and utterly ridiculous and pretty stupid. So wrestling talks out with her. But the fact that Zach was able to help me just remember all the knowledge I gathered about the sport, about the industry over the past 24 years. I had forgotten all the things that I actually knew about wrestling. So having my brain exercised in that, it's helped, because not only did I remember a lot, but it kind of also reignited a passion for the business and a love that I just let slip by. Wrestling for a long time, wrestling became I don't want to say a sore subject, but just a subject that I avoided with people. So it's good that you be able to talk about it again. On the negative side, the more difficult, oh gosh, it's getting videos past copyright claims. Man, it's such a tedious process. You have no idea. And it could be the smallest little thing, and then it's coming back. And then once we get a video back, we got to start with the editing again. And it's such a labor intensive process that when people get the final cut of a video on Friday, they have no idea how much work went into it. And I don't even mean the work of flying and setting up and recording. It's just so much goes into it. Hope you hear my birds out. I set up feeders outside my office here, because the birds call me. But they can be loud fuckers too. So I hope that answers your questions, my friend. And thank you again for your support. And I wish you all the best this upcoming new year. Take care.
Yeah,
everyone loves both falls.
But I was going to say,
both
are they talking about the WWE vault? Now, is this do I again have to accept that this is coincidence that our stuff is the KC vault and has been the KC vault, and that theirs is the WWE vault. I've had to accept that the timeline format's been used. I have to accept that WWE, all the entire fucking network was basically the shoot interview industry just taken to their stars. You know, shown that they could do non-wrestling related stuff with these guys, which was, you know, our model.
Jayme Joshua says
it's gimmick
infringement.
For sure.
I think.
What do you say?
I'm claiming credit for the entire WWE network and all the shows they produce, like the Legends Roundtable and all that stuff, which is just basically the shoot interview.
My girlfriend sent
better
me
lighting.
True. It's 100% true. When I was in 5th grade, I was the only black kid in my entire elementary school. I have 200 kids. And I told you, I'm really bad at math. And my math teacher knew this. And for months, he used to ask me to tell the time on an analog clock because I couldn't do it. And when I couldn't do it, when I couldn't get it right, I would put my head down. And he would write on the overhead projector, "Maven is a dumb nigger." And he did this. And then he would giggle and he would, kind of he'd be like, no one else say that. This is just a joke Maven and I share together. And I never said anything. And it took a buddy of mine that I went to school with to tell my mom before she went and just raised hell in the school and then had him removed at the end of the year. But
Jerk ass Joshua or Jayme Joshua, whatever that dumbass's name is,